Hi all. So this is Supriya Gupta, and as you know, I'm from Medical College Kolkata, pre-final year, and I have started the series View Under the Microscope, which is dependent on the histology slides. And today is the third video. If you haven't seen the first two, then check out them. And yes, today's topic will be general connective tissue. So let's get started. So first of all, what is a tissue? If we see a general overview, then uh, connective tissue is nothing but something which bread and butter. So connective tissue is just like that butter, which is filling the interstices between those bread parts. Okay, so here in the body we do not have bread, so it is filling the interstices between the specialized elements. Okay. So, for an example, here, see this, we have, for example, we have adipose tissue, we have cartilage, which is a specialized connective tissue, we have bone, which is a specialized connective tissue, we have blood as a specialized connective tissue, we have loose connective tissue, then we have fibrous connective tissue. Okay, these are the examples of a connective tissue. Now, so here you can see different body parts and different connective tissue. Here also, like see, we have fibrous connective tissue in the ligaments, then in the cartilage, in the bone, in the adipose tissue, in the loose connective tissue, in the blood. Even the blood is a specialized connective tissue. Okay, remember this blood is a specialized connective tissue. Now, components of connective tissue. The components can be, it can be cellular, it can be fibers. Okay, so first of all, we will discuss about the cellular component. So cells can be fixed cells which do not move from their place, or they can be free cells which can go wherever they want. Okay, so for the example of the fixed cells are fibroblast, undifferentiated mesenchymal cells, the pigment cells, and the fat cells. And then the free cells, which mostly we know, that is macrophage, mast cells, lymphocytes, and leukocytes like neutrophil, basophil, eosinophil, and all. And then the plasma cells are B cells. Okay, so components of a connective tissue, that is, we have studied the cellular part. Next can be, it can be fibers, or it can also be ground substance. Okay, fibers may, we have three different types of fibers. We have collagen fiber, we have elastic fibers, we have reticular fibers. Okay, though reticular fiber is a type of collagen fiber, but we will consider it differently. Now, the ground substance is also known as matrix. Okay, as we will go ahead, we will also discuss about the ground substance a bit. So, and when these connective tissue get a different form, then we can further classify the connective tissue in the form of loose connective tissue, which is further divided into areolar or adipose tissue. We have dense connective tissue, which is further divided into dense regular and dense irregular. Under dense regular, we have white fibrous connective tissue and yellow elastic connective tissue. Then we have a specialized connective tissue. Specialized connective tissue like skeletal tissue means bones and cartilage, vascular tissue like lymph and blood, reticular connective tissue, pigment connective tissue, mucoid connective tissue. Okay, under the cartilage you have hyaline cartilage, you have fibrous cartilage, we have calcified cartilage. Okay, this is a complete overview that you will have to remember. Okay, now, coming to the cells. So we studied the classification of cells as fixed cells and free cells. Okay, so first of all, we will talk about the fixed cells. So I don't know where to place it, but let me be here. Okay, so first of all, we will discuss about the fibroblast. Okay, fibroblast are the predominant cells in any connective tissue. Okay, they will synthesize, secrete, and maintain all the proper components of extracellular matrix. See, a fibroblast looks like this. You will see a nucleus, nucleolus, cytoplasm, like normal, and these are the cytoplasmic processes. Okay, this is how you will draw a fibroblast cell. Now, coming to, okay, let me be here. The second is undifferentiated mesenchymal cells. Okay, they are the precursor of most of the connective tissue. They have a loose network, they have stellate cells, they have abundant intercellular fluid. Then some of them remain undifferentiated, and they serve as a reserve property, of stem cells. Okay, also known as adventitious cells, which looks like fibroblast. So here you can see this is the undifferentiated mesenchymal cells. You can see the stellar cells here, stellate shaped. You can see the branching processes that are arising from them. And this is how you are going to draw the undifferentiated mesenchymal cells. Okay, see here. We have fetal kidney H&E stain mein, and we have tooth pulp in H&E stain. These are the mesenchymal cells. These are the undifferentiated cells that will develop into different cells. Okay, now third was pigmented cells. Pigmented cells, why are we calling it pigmented cells? First of all, it contains pigment granule. Then as like before, it is also having the cytoplasmic processes like fibroblast. Okay, they will synthesize the pigment. What is the pigment they will synthesize? The pigment is melanin. You see the skin color we have, this is the function of melanin. Okay, these are the melanin producing cells. Now they are star shaped with branching processes. Now found in skin, choroid, choroids, matlab ki the choroids, choroid of the eye has a layer, choroid layer. They are present. Okay, now coming to fat cells. So, in the fat cells, the first and foremost, we know we do not want to be fat, but yes, this is a very important cell in our body. So, they will synthesize and they will store fat, and they are spherical in shape. The nucleus will be flattened. Why now? Because as the cell is accumulating more and more fat, the nucleus will be pushed aside, and then it will become flattened, and it will be like go there and sleep there. Okay, like this is how the nucleus will be pushed. Okay, and a thin cytoplasmic rim will be seen, and this will be the fat droplet will be empty. Okay, now lipid occupy almost all of the whole cell, and hence the appearance of signet ring will appear because of the cytoplasm which has gone into the periphery. Okay? And they may occur singly or in groups. If they occur singly, that is loose areolar tissue. If they occur in groups, then we call it adipose tissue. Okay, okay, now coming to the next slide, we will see here. See, first, free cell. Free cell means the cells which move. Okay, first of all, we will study about the macrophage. Macrophage, where it develops from? Monocyte of the blood. Now, they are irregular in shape and they have branching processes. Now, capable of eating bacteria, cellular debris, and by the process of phagocytosis, and hence they are also known as phagocytes. Now two types, they are of two types. They can be of fixed type, they can be wandering type. They can be like they either they will not move from their place, or they will move abundantly and they will never come back. Okay, so they are like wanderers. Now, this is how you will draw the macrophage. You see here acidophilic cytoplasm hai, then we have bean shaped nucleus, then we have vacuoles in it. See, now coming to the mast cell, mostly close to the blood vessels they are found in the connective tissue, and they are small, they are round in shape, nucleus is central, the cytoplasm contains granules. Okay, these are the granules in the monocyte. Monocyte are big cells, you see. Sorry, did I say monocyte? I'm sorry, that's mast cell. Now, coming to the plasma cell, where they originate from? They originate from the B lymphocyte. They are oval in shape, nucleus is round, and it is eccentric. Eccentric means it is not placed in the center, it is pushed to the periphery, somewhat periphery, and it will be like eccentered. Okay, somewhat pushed, not in the center. And chromatin granule will be there, which will give it a cartwheel appearance. See the cartwheel appearance you can see here, that is because of the chromatin granule. Now they synthesize the most important function of the plasma cell is what? They are the protectors of our body. They synthesize antibody. You know, that is a god level antibodies against any antigen. Okay, so this is how you will make it. You will see Russell's body here. No. Okay, lymphocytes and leukocytes we see. So lymphocytes, you know, now leukocytes and lymphocytes, they both are present in the blood, and uh, they are a type of WBCs, and they increase in the inflammation whenever there is a inflammatory process going on in the body. The level of the neutrophil increases, you know. Sometimes the level of the lymphocyte, they also increases. Now, first of all, the role is of defense. Okay, and the eosinophil and monocytes are also found in the connective tissue. B lymphocytes are present in where? Bone marrow, B for B, and T lymphocyte is present where? In thymus, T for T. See, this red color and with this spectacle shaped nucleus, this is the eosinophil. This um, these are like you know, small cells you will see under the microscope. These will be the lymphocyte. They will be abundant in number, and these are big cells. When you will compare it with the size of the other cells, they are very big cells. They are monocyte. They have kidney shaped nucleus. Okay, now ending the cells, we come to the fiber part. Okay, in fiber, I told you we will study three types of fiber: collagen, elastic, and reticular. In the collagen, we will first of all we will study the types of collagen fiber and the overview of collagen fiber, because these are very important and it will come in I can't say, I can't tell you the times it has been asked everywhere. What is the collagen fiber present in the basement membrane of the cornea and all, everything. Very typical questions. Okay, so they come from the fibroblast. 30% of the dry weight of the body is made by collagen. Can you believe it? It is 30%, and it may be present individually or it can be also present in the bundles. And nerve branch or anastomosis also. Now, they are wavy fibers, white in color when they are fresh, but you know, you will never get a fresh slide, so keep that in mind. And they are made up of microfibrils, which is composed of trophy collagen. Okay, now types of collagen. This is a very important topic that you will get everywhere. Every single question they will ask you about the types of collagen, types of collagen. So type 1 collagen, just remember TBD. Okay, TBD, that is tendon, bone, dermis. Okay, type 2 is present in the cartilage. Type 3, I told you, reticular fibers. Type 4 is laminarin, and 5 is in blood vessels and the fetal membrane. Okay, now coming to fibers. First we studied the collagen fibers. This is the second fibers that will be studied, will be elastic fibers. The elastic fiber is very predominated. Okay, and then they are thick, they are wavy, they are arranged in the parallel bundles. They are separated by loose collagenous tissue and fibroblast. The ground substance is very sparse, like the dense connective tissue, but yes, it is not a dense connective tissue, yet here the ground substance is very sparse, and it will provide the flexibility and elasticity to the tissue. This is the function. Now, it is where is it present? The fascia of the anterior abdominal wall, the wall of the large arteries, the trachea, the vocal cords, the ligaments like ligamentum nuchae and the ligamentum flavum. Okay, so here you can see this is the diagram that you will have to make in your copy, and see, isn't it looking like dense regular connective tissue? But yes, it is not. It is elastic connective tissue, and hence whenever you will draw it, you will draw it in the artery. So you will show tunica intima, tunica media, and tunica adventitia. And yes, in the tunica media you will find the elastic fibers. Now, in the hematoxylin eosin stain, see, this is the media, this is the intima, this is the adventitia. These three are the parts of the cross section of the wall of a artery, and these are the elastic connective tissue. Now coming to the reticular fibers are basically type 3 collagen fibers. You'll have to remember this. Then there is a very little ground substance here, and where they are present in the hematopoietic tissue such as bone marrow, spleen and lymph nodes, and it is also found in the reticular lamina of the basement membrane and also around the smooth muscle fibers. Various organs are also supported structurally in the form of formation of either they will form stroma or they will form reticular frameworks to support the various organs. Now coming to the reticular tissue, see here, this is the diagram you will make. You see the reticular tissue here, you are seeing they are all in brown color. Okay, these are the reticular fibers. They are reticularly placed, they are very sparsely placed, and yes, in between these are the WBCs. Okay, this is the real image, and here you will see black brown things. These are the reticular fibers. Now ground substance is also known as matrix, and what is the ground substance? Actually the cells and the fibers that we have been reading, they are not floating in the body. There must be something which will bind them together. So this binding thing is the ground substance. Okay, and the cells and fibers are suspended in it, I told you, and the characteristics is key. They must be transparent, they must be homogeneous and a viscous solution. And the components you will see mucopolysaccharide, glycoprotein and water electrolyte, having their different functions for viscosity, for adhesion and for osmotic balance. See here. Okay, I told you the chart. There we studied there are different forms of connective tissue. So first of all, we are going to talk about the loose areolar connective tissue. So in loose areolar connective tissue, you will find everything possible that I have just told you about. That is the fibroblast, the macrophage, the plasma cells, everything. The ground substance here will be composed of hyaluronic acid and chondroitin sulfate. These are present. Where they are present? They will be present in the superficial fascia along with the adipose tissue. They are also present around the blood vessels. They are present around the viscera, nerves, muscles, and also the lamina propria that we have been talking about from our first slide. The lamina propria is actually nothing but the loose areolar connective tissue. They also support serous membranes. The serous membranes, I told you about the mesotheliums like pleura, peritoneum, pericardium, and also they will provide elasticity and support to the various structures. This is how you will draw this. You will draw everything we have here: melanocyte, mast cells. See these fibers, these are fibers, these are these are the collagen fibers, these are the elastic fibers. Everything possible is here. The fibroblast and all, everything. Okay, this is the diagram. See the elastic fiber, the collagen fiber, the reticular fiber. Okay, collagen fibers. Why we call collagen fiber? Because they are in bundles. Okay, hence we call collagen fiber as collagen bundles also. This is the real image. Where these bundles are actually collagen fibers, and the single things which are present, single thread-like structure, these are the elastic fibers. Okay, uh, so the dense connective tissue. Dense connective tissue is further divided into dense regular and dense irregular connective tissue. First of all, we will talk about the dense regular connective tissue. Dense, why are they called regular? Because the regular arrangement of the fibers and bundles. Okay, the parallel bundles, tightly packed, but they are parallel. Okay, they are parallel, and hence they are not arranged irregularly. They are having a very regular arrangement, and hence they are known as dense regular connective tissue. Component is basically predominantly they are containing collagen fibers type 1 fibers. Okay, now collagen fibers are so closely packed that there is a very little space for what? The ground substance, the loose connective tissue. So the places where they are present: tendons, aponeurosis. Aponeurosis, the muscles actually end in the fascia like thing, that is aponeurosis. Okay, so, and then the ligaments, periosteum, perichondrium and deep fascia. Next is this is how you will draw it. the longitudinal section hai, we have transverse section. You can see the regular arrangement. There is no irregularity, just parallel bundles. Here also, you see, parallel to each other, parallel to each other. Yes, this is the real image, and these are the collagen fibers bundles, and this is basically muscle tendon junction, and this is the ligamentum nuchae that I was talking about. Dense irregular connective tissue. Okay, dense irregular connective tissue. Why it is irregular now? Because they are also packed, tightly packed, but yes, dense means tightly packed, but yes, they are packed differently. They are very irregular in arrangement. They are not parallelly arranged. So they are also type 1 predominance here also, and they are forming a compact network which is occupied by very little space and very little ground substance, and mainly fibroblast. Okay, and where are they present? Dermis of the skin, dura mater, epimysium, epineurium, then pericardium, periosteum, tunica albuginea, sclera, capsules, then intestinal tract, submucosa. Okay, and they are also covering the fragile tissues and protect them from the multi-dimensional mechanical forces like shearing force. Now this is how a dense irregular connective tissue looks. See, there is no parallel arrangement. Some is arranged like this, some is like this, some is like this, some is like this. This is a very absurd arrangement here, but yes, they are very tightly packed. Because they are tightly packed and hence they are dense, but because there is no arrangement, it is very absurd and hence it is the irregular. See, dense irregular connective tissue. Here you will see the arrangement is, see, you see the arrangement is so absurd, means they are not parallel. Okay, now the specialized connective tissue. In specialized connective tissue, here only two slides I have prepared. First is mucus and the other is, I guess, adipose. So in mucus connective tissue, very few cells are present and they are randomly distributed in very abundant ground substance. Okay, dense fibers, we had a very sparse down ground substance, but here the ground substance will be in abundance, and it is jelly like in consistency, and is composed of hyaluronic acid. Okay, hyaluronic acid, uh, very easily yielding to pressure. Okay, whenever you apply a pressure, there must be something cushioning in the body. Okay, these are the cushions actually, and hence they return back to its original shape after applying of the pressure, and they are very useful in protecting the underlying structures from a very excessive pressure. So Wharton's jelly in the umbilical cord, you will matlab you, I know this is a very famous example, Wharton's jelly, and the nucleus pulposus in the intervertebral disc are a very important example of mucus tissue. So is this a smiley? No, this is not a smiley. This is a cross section of the transverse section of the umbilical cord, where this long one is the umbilical vein and these two short ones are the umbilical arteries, and these, the ground substance here you see the connective tissue. These connective tissue is basically the Wharton's jelly, which is formed by mucus tissue. So this is a smiley? No, it is not a smiley. Yes, this is a umbilical cord transverse section. Next, okay, the last one is the adipose tissue. Okay, so in the adipose tissue, you know, this is a very specialized tissue which will store the fat. We know we do not want to store fat in our body, we look fat, but yes, it is very important that we store the fat, because fat has different other functions also apart from making us look very fat. So the cytoplasm of the fat cell contains large amount of triglyceride deposits in the form of one or more lipid droplets. Okay, and the cluster of adipocytes are divided into lobes or lobules by collagen fiber septa. Now the fat cells, what are the function? Synthesize and store the fat. They are spherical in shape. I just have shown you the picture of a fat cell in the starting of the video. If you have a confusion, then you can go there. You will find a cell like this, the nucleus like this, and this is the fat droplet here. So nucleus will be flattened, displaced in the one side, and signet ring appearance I told you. And they can be in group or they can be singly placed. Okay, see how beautiful this picture is. Yes, na? Yes. And so these, the empty spaces you are seeing here is actually the fat droplet which did not extend, and these are the adipocytes which contain this fat droplets. Then the nucleus is pushed to the periphery, and signet shaped cells are there because of the cytoplasm. You see here, this is the adipocyte. See, signet shaped. You know, whenever you propose someone, you take a ring. Says this is the ring that is present in our body. Okay, so next will be, okay, the white and brown adipose tissue. You need to read it in a bit detail because brown adipose tissue is asked sometimes. Okay, now thanking you very much, and I really hope to see you again, and I will be very grateful if you just add some comments because I'm really in a need of reviews so that I can improve my videos. And yes, thank you so much. Supriya signing off.